I don't know if you heard Jay say, I asked him about this being an Omaha or bust type year. He said, no, I think it's a win it all type bust year.
I mean, definitely, I think that's all of our goals. There's so many of us older guys that tasted it last year, and when you get fourth in a tournament like that, all you want to do is get back there and be on the bottom of that dog pile.
Is that why you came back?
Oh, yeah.
How often do you think about that, being there and tasting it, finishing fourth, coming up short, team that you guys took 2 out of 3 from on the road, winning it all?
Every day. I mean, I thought about that probably more so than I thought about the decision whether to sign or not. Whenever you lose, it was kind of like that feeling we had in LSU when we were almost there and knocking on the doorsteps of Omaha. But then you get to Omaha and you're that close to tasting your dream. I think it just burns a little desire in you.
When the first team meeting, and you walk through the door and everybody sees you, what was kind of the reaction? And obviously, you've heard the guys say how big a boost it is to have you back.
There's some excitement, definitely, and there's some shock on a few guys' faces that I didn't get to tell, but I was definitely, I think, almost more excited than they were just to be back with my family, and I called them all that day and let them know, hey, let's do this thing.
What's bigger or better, stronger about Ben Wetzler in 2014 compared to last year?
Just more experience, I think. I've been through, I think Andrew mentioned, I've been through it all. I'm the grandpa on the team. I'm the old guy. I mean, I think there's only 4 of us seniors or 3 of us seniors that have been here 4 years, so we've been through the wars, me, Scotty, and Cav, and we know what it takes. We know how to handle the coaches. We know how to handle the young guys, and I think that can be a big key in getting us to where we want to go.
Do you have any second thoughts after July 15th or July 8th about signing?
No, I mean, as soon as the deadline hit at 2 p.m., I think there was such a sense of relief. I called Case, I called the coaches, and I was just so excited to come back that once you make a decision like that, you can't look back.
So moving the deadline up a month or however much they moved it up actually helps guys in your situation, you think?
No, definitely. I mean, it gave me the summer to figure out what I was going to do and go find a job and make some money and be able to pay rent.
You had an interesting job this summer. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I worked at Hydropower. It's a hydraulics warehouse, and I picked little hydraulic parts in big boxes all day for 8 hours a day.
Did you enjoy that?
No. Never want to have a real job again.
Did you learn anything at all? That just the fact that you don't want
I've worked with some really cool people that have been through some different situations and just like what roads they took, and it taught me hard work, honestly. It taught me what kind of job I do want to have in the future and what kind of job I don't, and kind of pushed me in that right direction.
How did you end up getting that job? What was kind of the process of getting that?
I had the interview set up just in case I didn't reach a deal with the Phillies, and after I called Case, I drove straight to an interview since I was already dressed up, and for my meeting with the Phillies, had a 15-minute interview with the warehouse manager.
Eddie, can you talk about, Pat talked about how you need more consistency out of everybody, but like what you see as Scotty's role this year?
I mean, it just kind of depends on, as you guys know, Andrew wasn't going to start last year. It was going to probably be me, Dano, and Boyd, and then Andrew comes out and puts an All-American performance up, is the leader in the country and wins, and it just kind of see where it falls into place in the season. We never know with our team.
Who are some of the young arms this year, some of the first-year guys? Chandler's obviously.
Oh, yeah, Chandler Eden got a very, very good arm, and is going to, I think, be a big piece to our team. And then the twins, we call them, and Jake Thompson and Flemmer, those guys are going to play a big role.
You saw Kevin pitch some here last summer. When before you signed, you lived here, what impressed you about him?
I think he comes to the table with a good mentality. I mean, his brother pitched at Cal, so his brother kind of helped kind of go through some of the situations he might go through here, and I think that mentality of pitching for the Knights, he already pitched on our mound, and he came in just very comfortable.
Benny, with Michael and Dylan, in a similar situation last year as you, obviously maybe a little bit bigger because they're projected to maybe go in the first round. How have you seen them sort of handle that attention?
I mean, it's the same thing. We don't talk about it. We don't care. We let our game speak for ourselves, and if you let that consume you, it's going to end up hurting you in the long run, and that's been my only advice to them. Just don't worry about it. Go about your business, and just we get one more chance in this. Let's enjoy this. You worry about that later.
Talk about the expectations of the preseason number 2 ranking. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's an honor that people recognize the Northwest and honored us with that ranking. But preseason rankings don't mean anything. It doesn't matter until we step between the white lines.
Has it gotten to the point, because Oregon State, it's an expectation to sort of be in that upper echelon where when rankings come out, whether it's preseason or any week, that it just doesn't even faze you anymore? It's almost as if they don't exist.
I don't think it's the rankings that gave us the expectations. I think it's the pictures of the dog piles from 06, 07, seeing those guys walk around, seeing the mentality Case brings to the yard every day. And I think those are what builds the expectations here to play Beaver Baseball.
Did you get the chance the other day to pick some of the brains of some alums?
Oh, definitely. I loved spending some time with Darwin Barney and chatting him up, and just different situations he went through here, and him and Mitch were kind of the leaders that I want to be like in my time here, and just to pick their brains and figure out how they dealt with situations was amazing.
Case was asked who would play center, short, and catcher as of now, and he had an answer for center and short, but he didn't know about catcher. Obviously, how big of a loss was Jake, and how important is it, offense, defense, and just chemistry with rotation?
Yeah, I mean that's a big piece to the puzzle, and Jake was a great one. Jake knew how to deal with every pitcher, knew who he can get into, who he needed to kind of just calm down a little bit, and I mean he was a great leader on and off the field. And I think having young guys as such an older pitching staff as we have, we kind of got to lead the catcher a little bit. And I know that I might probably going to try to room with whoever's going to start and talk to them and make sure they're caught up on all the signs and just make sure they're ready to go, and you kind of just ease them into it.
And what have you seen from potential guys who might start?
I've seen a lot of big steps guys have taken. Me, Mike, Dylan, and Petey sat down with a couple of the guys that are in the competition for it and told them, hey, this could be your team. Whoever wants it needs to just step up and not play scared. And I mean, that's the mentality here. You don't play scared. You go play fearless, and just you're a war dog. And I've seen a lot of that out of both of them right now, and it's going to be a fun competition.
Couple more. When you say both, who do you mean?
You'll see.